Well, today I have this lemon slice sign project for you. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this one is to make. All right, so let's start by going over the pieces that will be on your pattern. So you'll have 4 pieces for the back, and this is the only thing that's going to be in a group of 4, will be that backer board. Everything else is designed this week to go in sets of 2. So we have 2 larger circles and 2 smaller circles. We have 2 fronts for the banner, and then we have 2 sets of ends for the banner. And then we have 16 lemon segments, which will become 8 segments on the finished lemon. So let me get some glue out. Let me glue a few of these together. I just use a thick tacky glue. So I cut mine out of a medium weight cardstock. That's what this project is designed to be done on. And then we will paint it because, for one thing, it's a lot cheaper to have one package of cardstock that you go through than having to pick up an endless variety of packages of different colors, or have to make a trip to the store to get a specific color that you need. We usually have quite a few craft paints, and I try to keep them pretty basic colors. Got that. It's a medium weight because I find that that makes a good sturdy project. Now the pattern for this, you'll find the link for the pattern in the blog post that goes with this video. You can make as many of them as you want. Just please don't pass on my pattern to other people. Let them come and get their own. I spend a lot of time making these patterns, and the only compensation I get for that is when you guys visit the blog and visit the YouTube video. Otherwise, I'm doing this for free, and it does take hours sometimes. Some of these details have taken me a while to get the way I wanted them. So I'm going to gamble and do all 4 layers together. Sometimes when I have 4, depending on the shape, if it's a little more intricate, sometimes I'll do them in sets of 2 and then glue those together. For this, I am going to glue them all in one stack. But be sure you keep them lined up, and make sure you get each set of layers, like when you've get the first 2 lined up, then put the 3rd one on, and then come back and put on the last one. And at this point, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to put a weight on these big back pieces. The others I may put under there, but they won't, since they're not as thick, they probably won't, it won't matter. But I do like to weight down the big back piece because it helps it to stay straighter as it dries. So when these have dried completely, I'll come back and we can start our painting. All right, so here are all the pieces. They're glued, and the glue has dried, and I've sorted them by color. Now, something to be careful of. You have 2 colors of circles. This is the bigger one, and it's going to be painted yellow. And this is the slightly smaller one. It will be white. So we've got all our yellow pieces here. That'll be the rind, basically, the back of the lemon slice, and then the segments. This is our board, our back board, and I'm going to do mine in a blue. We have our white for the white part of the lemon slice, and then we have the pieces to the banner, which I'm going to do in a light cream, 2 colors of cream. So I won't make you watch all of this. I'll get the yellow started, and it's pretty, I mean, we've all painted. I'll do this piece, and then, because you can see it's really quick and easy. What I've done, I've put down washi tape because I still have not managed to remember the masking tape when I'm in the store that has it, and the times that I put it on my list, when I go out, it seems to jinx me, and the store is always either out of it or that aisle is blocked. All right, so those are there. I may need to do a second coat. I won't know until I get a little further. Now I've got white paint, and it's just a white craft paint. I will have pictures of the paints on the blog post so you can see what I used. And now the ends of this, I'm going to paint in. This is vanilla cream, and it's kind of just an off-white creamy color. Then this. I'll move this over. This is what I'm using for a paint palette today. I'm going to take some of that white and I'm going to mix into that. Make it just a little bit lighter. Oops, there's gunk in my white. So I've got a slightly lighter cream for this part. That way it'll show better that it's two pieces once it is assembled. All right, I guess I might as well finish because all I've got left is I'm using a nice blue. I love the look of lemon slices against blue. So I will finish up this painting. If it needs a second coat, I'll come back and do a second coat off camera. Once this is completely dry, and we do need it completely dry. The glue had to be completely dry before I did this, because if you try to tape these down with the glue still damp, it will stick to the washi tape or masking tape or painter's tape or whatever you're using. If this paint is still damp when we glue it together, the glue might fail or it might make it smear. So I'm going to get this painted, and when it's all painted the way I like it, I will come back and we will start assembly. So I'll see you then. All right, now hopefully my paint is all dry because we are going to start assembling. And I think this time I'm going to start by putting the segments onto the white part of the lemon and then working my way down. So I've got my glue ready to go. I've got a toothpick. And I've kind of neatened up the edges of that one, but all you need to do if you have some paint going over the edges, just kind of use your fingernail or a blade of a knife or whatever you've got to just pull that off. I probably won't do all of these at once. I'll probably do some and then let them set up and then come back and do some more. One on. And this is a large wall sign, so it will make a statement on the front of your dollhouse. I like to go 2 across and then get 2 more ready. I've had a relatively busy week, so I'm running kind of behind again this week on getting videos done. So go. All right, I'm going to let those dry a little bit, set up, not really dry, but give them about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and we will put the rest of the segments onto here. So I'll be right back. All right, this glue is set up so I know that I won't move those by accident when I go to put these on. So now, those a little close together there on the points. That's okay. And if you've got some you don't like the way they're laying, that's okay, because you can cover those up with the banner when we get ready to put that on. And this one. And now we've got one more step we're going to do now before we move on. So I need to go grab something in the other room. I forgot. And I will be right back. And we're going to do a little preventive step on our banner, so I'll be right back. All right, I totally forgotten. The next, I want to coat this part of the banner, which I'm going to just with some matte Mod Podge. This will act as our little insurance policy because we are going to write a word on this, and sometimes those don't go well. So if we coat it with matte Mod Podge, it makes it a lot easier to fix any errors we might make. So I'm going to let that glue dry a little bit more. I'm going to let this Mod Podge dry completely, and I will be back when that's accomplished. All right, once again, my glue has set up enough that I can go on to the next step, which is to get this evened out, and then we're going to glue that behind there. And what I do with this, I put a lid over my glue. That way my glue stays nice for quite a while. It's not perfectly airtight, so it won't keep forever, but it'll keep for the afternoon while I'm doing this project. And those are just containers that would have normally went in the recycling. Right. Now, since this is trying to bow up a little bit, I am going to put some weight on this while it starts to dry. And when this is set up and this has dried better, we'll come back and we'll go to our next step. All right, I brought you in a little closer and hopefully I'll stay under camera. So we are now going to glue this onto here. Pour that glue. And then we are going to find a pencil. I do have a pencil. All right, do your best to center this on your board. Don't worry if you get a little bit of glue spurting out. Wipe away most of it. We are going to put a coat of Mod Podge on this so when it's done, so it won't leave a mark. All right, now we have this. And our Mod Podge is dry. Mod Podge, I think I just called it Mod Podge, which I hate when people do. Get this all cleaned up. Be careful if you're using a knife to do this. But I've done it so many times, I am not concerned. All right, now I'm going to write the word hello, and I'm going to attempt to do this the first time through. So I'm going to hold on to this with my finger, and I'm going to use a pencil first. All right, now I have my design, and yeah, you can even see that with the camera there. So now I'm going to get some of this blue paint. I'm just going to put it on here. And I have a dotting tool. Looks like I used this to paint a while back. I'm going to use the skinnier end, I think. And I won't make you sit through all of this, but I'm going to go through. Oh, that's going to be too fat. I'm going to have to go find a skinnier dotting tool. Let me wipe that off first, though. This is why we coated that in Mod Podge. There. I lost my pencil, but that's fine. I can fake it. I'm going to go get the tiniest dotting tool I have. I'll be right back. All right, this has the smallest tip of all of them I have, so hopefully it will work. I can still barely see my H there. Yeah. And I chose to use the dark blue because I thought it would blend in better with the back of the sign. You could choose to do yours in black or whatever color you want. I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera so I can have my face down a little closer so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to set this aside to dry. Once this is dry, we will assemble our banner and put it onto our sign. So I'll be right back. All right, the lettering on my banner is totally dry. And I mean, I let it dry overnight just so I'd make sure it was dry, and it has curved a little bit, but that'll get fixed when we glue it down. So I've got the two ends. Now you can do yours however you want. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do mine. It's kind of how I designed it. Put glue on the ends of each of these. There. And if my hands shake, I apologize in advance. It is very early in the morning. And I now have part of the banner stuck to my finger. Don't worry about glue showing because we are going to put a coat of Mod Podge over the top of this. Now you can put these, I want mine at the same straight, but I want them offset like that, up and down. All right, I am going to let that, I'm going to fiddle with these off camera if I can get my face down there closer. But I'm going to let this glue dry at least 15-20 minutes so that it's set and will stay in place when we put it onto our lemon. So I'll be back when this has a chance to set up. All right, my glue is set enough that it's not going to move around, and I kind of played with it. I like it in this orientation. This sign, I designed it to go at it as a diamond, not a square. You can hang yours however you want. Now I'm going to put some glue on. Now, since this is such a small sign, I'm not worried about putting anything under this area. If this was a longer sign, I might put a spacer under there. But I don't think it'll hurt. I don't think it'll bend too much without a spacer on this size. All right. Now. See, I don't like necessarily how some of those are coming together. So that's first thing in the morning. All right. A little bit more towards the middle. And I am going to put some weight on this because it's wanting to pop up. Once this glue is set up enough, I will come back and we'll put a coat of Mod Podge on. So I'll be right back. All right, once the glue is dry, I have some satin Mod Podge. I'm going to coat the front. I've actually already coated the back. I do like to put Mod Podge on the back of my pieces simply because it makes them look a little more finished, and the back paper is less apt to peel off if I attach it to the wall with something. And because my blue paint is nice and dry, it's not smearing. So I am going to add a light, even coat of Mod Podge to the front of this. Keep in mind that Mod Podge has a kind of nasty habit of remaining just a little bit tacky if you put it on too thick. It will be sticky when it dries. And that's okay. You can fix that by putting another thin coat over that and allowing that to dry. So I'm going to get this nicely evened out. I'm going to clean my brush and allow this to dry. When this is dry, I'll meet you at the dollhouse and we can see how it looks in place. All right, I have put our lemon slice sign on the front of the beachside bungalow. I love how it looks. I think it really adds to our lemon collection. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure and check the blog post. There's not only pictures and more instructions and more my thoughts on the project, but also the important link to the free downloadable pattern so you can make your own sign for your dollhouse, either inside or outside. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure and hit the like button, leave me a comment. What kinds of things would you like to see in future projects? If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you to hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!